Hello and welcome. The pub we are investigating tonight was originally built and run by the same family, and it would seem one of them is still here, even though she died over 100 years ago. This is Owd Betts in Rochdale, and this is Ghost Dimension Flying Solo.
Coming up on Ghost Dimension.
Whoa, that just touched my foot. Whoa, look.
Oh, you must have heard that. Now that was loud.
I can only believe that's paranormal.
Thank you ever so much again.
What was that? That was one of these in here.
Ghost Dimension.
Built in 1796 by Richard and Mary Ashworth as a local hostelry, the pub was handed over to their son John and his wife Betty in the mid-1800s and became known as the Hare and Hounds. After John died in 1869, Betty ran the pub on her own, and it became known as Owd Betts until her death in 1893. It's her spirit that's thought to still haunt the pub today, and people have reported seeing a woman walking around the building after hours, and also glasses moving behind the bar. People have heard the sound of someone tutting, as if disapproving of some action that has been undertaken. Also, the sound of footsteps have been heard when no physical body has been seen attached to them. So is Betty the only spirit that still lingers in this cosy pub? And if so, will she be as welcoming as we have our very own style of lock-in? Oh wow, we've arrived here in Rochdale, Owd Betts, and you know what? It's in the middle of nowhere.
It is, isn't it?
There's one road outside, there's a village a few miles away, and it's freezing, I may add. It's freezing out here, but it's a beautiful place.
It's cosy, isn't it?
It is cosy, but you know what's weird about this place? It's quiet because it's closed, it's just here for the investigation. And now it is closed, it feels weird that there's no customers in here. It feels like we're being watched.
There's no people atmosphere, is there? It's not like we've come in after the place is closed or we're working around people. It's just closed, so it kind of feels a little bit flat. But you do get that feeling like you're still being
watched.
Yeah.
It is. It's deadly silent, but at the same time, you know it's nice. It's not negative in here. Whatever's in here is nice. I don't feel it to be horrible. And the reports that the landlord has said that have happened in here, footsteps have been heard on the beams in this building when nobody's upstairs.
That's right.
Objects have moved around the building. There's lots of different, and a television upstairs has switched on and switched off, and they couldn't get into the room.
They couldn't get into the room. That was the really interesting. TV comes on full blast. They can hear a male voice. They think that there's somebody outside trying to get in, delivery or something, realise it's the TV and go in to try and turn it off, and they can't get in. You know, and there's no locks on the rooms upstairs. The door just wouldn't budge, so that's quite interesting.
It's quite interesting. And I think with it being an active place where things have moved, maybe tonight we get a trigger object set up and see if anything happens with that. And let's see if we can, whatever's here, if we can encourage the activity to come and join us on the investigation. Because I feel it will.
Well, if it's Old Betty, or Owd Betts as she's known, that's who's supposed to haunt here, then right now the pub's closed. We shouldn't be here, should we really? So she might come and complain, try and
tell us off for being here and ship us out. Well, you never know. Well, I think it's going to be a fantastic investigation, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Oh, fingers crossed she comes out and tries to turf us out.
Well, hopefully. I tell you what we should do. if we do hear anything tonight, we make sure we point that camera as fast as we can and see if we can capture it.
Yeah, it's what we do, try. But
We do try.
It's just sometimes it's where to look.
It is. And on that note, let's hear from our medium in Oklahoma, Para, and find out what she feels could be haunting this haunted pub.
The spirit at the Owd Betts has me concerned for two reasons. One, it's really angry, and two, it has the power to possess. Now, when I first met this ghost spirit, I did not realize it was from the Owd Betts until I had sit down and did the reading. But I had a dream about going and talking to my mother, and my mother asked me about the staircase investigation. I said it was going well. And then before I knew it, the spirit actually had a hold of me and was controlling my actions, and it took me a minute to figure out what was going on. In that instant where she had me for maybe like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, I could feel her rage. She was angry that her message was not being spread or being understood. And I had to say some few things to kick her out of my body. But she was so angry. She's wearing a long dark blue dress. She's got her white hair pinned up in a bun, and she's got the nastiest scowl on her face. I don't know if there's another spirit using this woman's face, kind of like a doppelganger, or if this is just a human spirit that is really angry. But I have never met a human spirit that could possess me. So I'm a little on the fence about what kind of spirit this is, what type of spirit this is. The possession has me a little worried. I don't like spirits that can just freely walk into your body without your permission. The spirit likes to hang around the staircase, likes to hang around on the first floor, and I do believe that she may have tried to possess somebody else and tried to tell them her message. But basically what I got from her is she's already said her message to the most important person that there is, and she's not going to bother to tell me what it is because I can't do anything for her. So hopefully somebody can interpret the message for her so she can be less angry because she's very frightful. And I almost want to say she's strict. She's very, I don't know, she's very angry. She's very angry. Other than that, the only other thing that I picked up was an opposing force was the book on the table. It had somebody's name in it, and I felt like that was a Bible that somebody had written their name in. I didn't get to see the cover or anything, so I'm taking a wild shot in the dark. But it's a very, very personal item. It was very close to that person, whoever owned that item. I don't necessarily think that item's haunted, but that book holds its own space too. It has its own energy, and it's actually kind of a positive energy, which is the exact opposite of the spirit that's roaming around. That's all I got from the Owd Betts.
It was interesting to hear what Para had sensed, and also she had sensed that the book was a Bible, which was indeed correct. Would any more of her psychic predictions come true as Paul and I started our investigation of Owd Betts? Right, so downstairs, Paul's just going down into the cellar to investigate. I've got a lock-off camera here. Let me show you this camera. That's there, and that's pointing at this book which is on the table, which is actually a Bible that was given to Betty and Betty used. And as I'm saying that to you, there was a really clear like something moved noise around here. I've also got a REM pod on that table. I've got a touch torch on the table. The REM pod, if anything goes near it and breaks its field that it generates, it will set off and give an alarm. On the table I've also got a little glass full of sherry, which is a drink that potentially Betty would have liked, and this, we believe and we feel, let's believe this is Betty's corner, and there's a candle on there and a crucifix to go with the Bible. We've also put a trigger object down there, flower, so maybe something will come and touch that on, well, it's on camera and it's on lock off, and move one of the items in the flower with a candle as well to increase the energy, and hopefully that will happen. We will capture that, and well, it might not happen, but if it does, it'll be fantastic. That was weird. That was weird. That was a noise from over there near the bar.
So, currently in the cellar of Owd Betts, and it's a little bit noisy, but that's absolutely fine. You'd expect nothing more from a cellar that's got lots of beer kegs in it and what have you. Just got a REM there, got the mel meter here, temperature at the moment, whoa! That's a jump very quickly. That went up to 10 milligauss, and now we're at 5.3. So we need to see if this is something natural down here. There are pipes. Well, that's probably what it is. Yeah, pretty sure that's what it is. 18, yeah. Go over here a little bit, 24, nothing, there you go. So that must have been the pipes, the power cables there. Just some more there. They're okay. Just a quick look here. And yeah, 3.6, 3.2, 113, 179, 144, holy crap. My head should be exploding round about now with all that electromagnetic energy coming out of there. Wow! So, let's see how we go as we follow it round. All normal, so that's... what the hell was that? Let's go and have a look, shall we? To try and avoid the REM, but I'll probably set it off just like that. Noises in here, could be natural, could just be stuff to do with the pub.
As I'm speaking to you now, noises are starting to happen. I'll show you where I believe that might have been. That was where I was going to take you to next. Let's pick up some equipment that I've got here. I've got some equipment, so I'm going to show you. I've got the K2 and the periscope. I'll take those with me for now. I'll use the periscope in a moment. But let's have a look where that came from. I feel like that came from over here. Let me just stick this periscope on. I'm just going to put this on to see if it lights up. If it changes colour, it will go green or red depending on ions in the air. Whoa, okay. And there you go, it went green. I was just about to put it down actually, and then it's gone bright green. Oh, and red and green. This is weird. And this is where I heard the noise. There's the REM pod next to a picture which will be hard to see in infrared of Betty. Okay, but that's weird. And that's no, not glowing. Let's go towards Betty. Let's go towards Betty. Let's stick that there, actually. Maybe, just maybe, we're here with Betty. I did actually just want to tell you one more thing that we've got on the trigger tray, and I'll set it off now. On the tray, there's a REM going off us somewhere. On the tray, we've actually got a motion sensor. If you go near it, anything goes near that tray, it will set off. And we'll hear that audibly, so we will know if anything is there, which is fantastic. I've got the K2 with me, so if anything comes near me, or I go near any energy that's not natural, and we'll try and identify if it is, we'll find out, and hopefully it'll be spiritual. I'll show you what I've got around here. Let's have a look. This is another part of the bar, and in here it goes right round, and there's another big picture of Betty there. Look, that's Betty, who ran this place originally. And down here I've got like a coffee machine and stuff like that, you know. And if we go over here, I can't see where I'm going. Is there not an entrance? No. If we go over here, this is the bar, behind the bar. So we've got all of this. I've not turned that light off, which is fine. Okay, so anybody here, can you come and communicate with me? Let me know you're here. Speak to me. I know a minute ago you just set off my periscope on the side over there. If you're here, come towards it again. Maybe come towards me and light the device here I've got in my hand. Light it. There's a torch on the Bible, Betty, if that's you. If you're still here and you come and visit, if you go near it, you can light it if you want. By touching it, you'll be able to make contact with us. Blow the candle out that's on the table over there, Betty. Is anybody here? Can you give me a sign? Can you communicate with me? Okay. Not sure what that was. Sorry, just felt something tickle me out. Okay, so I'm put the light on to see what this. Okay, I don't remember seeing that there a minute ago. Oh, there's one over there, I saw that, but I didn't see that. I think I would have seen it or kicked it. Looks like it's a cap off the top of a barrel or something. Just trying to see if I can find one for comparison. There you go. It's that kind of thing, isn't it? Okay, Foster's. Okay, so I'm not sure where that came from. Betty! Oh, what the hell was that? Okay. Well, that time it felt like something knocked my foot. Like something just kicked me, perhaps. I don't know. A little bit weird. Turn that down a tad. Okay. Betty, are you here? Oh, it's flashing. Betty? Walk with me, Betty. Oh. Are you right here, Betty? Light it up again if you're here with me. Betty, light this device. Well, I can tell you that wasn't just a coincidence, because it's not lighting up now. Oh, it's lighting again. I'm going to follow this over here. Red, green, red, green. Is anybody here? Maybe. Oh my God! Do you know what's over here where I'm going towards? Is Betty's picture. Let's just go over and see if it'll go a different colour when we go right near it. Betty, are you here? Is somebody else here? Maybe somebody that used to drink in this bar, used to pass by. Maybe one of the family members. Are you here? Can you communicate with me? Can you knock for me? Give me a bang. It just feels weird. Look, 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 look. This periscope's going again. Look. Now look. What the hell was that? There was a clear tap over there. And then this lit up. I was just going to take it towards this till. Oh, it lit near the till. Oh, maybe it's giving some sort of energy off. It's red, green. That's weird. Just going to go behind this bar just to see if I can debunk any of this. Ooh. It seems to be random. This device is going off randomly. There's no physical energy source that I can trace, so at this moment in time, I can only believe that's paranormal. Shit. Listen. Right, I'm just going to stand still here. Right, listen. There was another tap. Can you tap again for me? Hello? You did that? Hello? Just do that again one more time. No way. Did you hear that then? It was like a scrape. That was a scraping noise. I heard that. No way. Is it Betty? Can you knock if it's Betty? Tap. I'm getting 2 gentle taps. Thank you, Betty. Thank you. No way, that's lit up as well. This periscope lit up. As I asked if that was Betty, I got tapped and it's staying lit up. And it went to red then. That's weird, that's really good. I'm going to go and grab the K2 and maybe the K2 will have a different reaction. Whoa. I heard that and then this is going crazy.
Hey, anybody here at all? Got the ghost radar on. Let's see if I can get that off my neck. Now I'm strangling myself. I feel like Mr. T with all the layers I've got on here. Ghost radar, lights, camera action. Okay, so it's just levelling out to my energy at the moment. Should go to no lights once it's calibrated to me. So there we go. So it's got my energy. So now if it lights up, and it's picking up another energy, which isn't mine, that was mate. Anybody here? Betty, are you here? Is there somebody else down here with me? Anybody that used to be a customer perhaps? Or a dray man? Oh, you must have heard that. Now that was loud. That was loud. I'm going to have a look. That sounded like something had been thrown again. Is there anybody here? Don't mean you any harm. So I'll have a look in here and see if I pick anything up. Anybody here? Hello? Oh shit. Did you hear that? That sounded like something moved in here then. And there isn't a lot of room to move. I'm literally just done a complete circle in the only space that there is. Can you come towards the device that's on the floor with the blue light? Or come towards me? I'm holding something which might be able to let me know you're here. If you come towards me it may light up. It's not going to harm you though, promise you. Oh, here we go. Thank you. Keep coming towards me. Don't be shy, it won't harm you, I promise you.
tell you what. This place. No way, no way. I was just gonna... I heard something on the bar then. What the hell was that? I heard something on the bar. That was on the bar. There's no one around. There's no one here. And there was a bang on the bar. Oh shit. This is a door which I walked into. That was definitely chinking of glasses. You could camera this place up and activity would happen in one area and then in the next. This is what I call crazy. This is crazy. But good and nice. I can't wait to explore more. I heard something else. I really did. I'm just going to point the camera over here. I heard something then. Oh, I know what happened. Look. This door is physically... It's opened. The door's open. No way. My nose is blocked. But the door opened. It must have been because or would I have closed it? I don't know, but it was open when I went through it because I walked past it and then showed you. Yeah, because look. I bumped into it and boom, then walked past it. So yeah, for sure that was open.
I can't pick the millimetre up at the moment to see what the temp was. What was that? What was that? Whoa! The hell was that? Something just bloody growled.
Paul had caught what appears to be a demonic growl in the basement. Who or what was this? And were they lurking down there with him?
Whoa! The hell was that? Whoa! The hell was that? Whoa! The hell was that? Holy crap! Oh, you've got to have heard that. The hell is it? Okay, I'm officially crapping myself now. Jesus Christ, wasn't expecting that.
Hello? Can you do one more thing for me? Let me know you're here. I felt like someone came past then. You know, like a breeze. Can you move one of these crayons on the side? Do something for me. Do something big. No way, no way, no way. That was the alarm over here. No way. Let me have a look. Oh, I can't see what I'm doing. That was the alarm on the lock-off camera. Let me just have a look and see if I can see. No. I can't see anything on here moved yet. I'll check it properly with my eyes in a bit. Nothing's... Whoa, thank you. Thank you. Again, it went off again. Somebody was definitely. Oh, and again. How do you explain that? That's weird. And that's why I love doing this show. I'm going to leave that aside and see if we capture anything more. Because that's amazing. On review of the footage, we can clearly see that something triggered the proximity sensor and a cushion appears to move on its own. Was this Betty taking a seat and joining our investigation? Also earlier, as I was investigating, the actual Bible appears to move on its own as I was calling for Betty to interact. Blow the candle out that's on the table over there, Betty. Is anybody here? Can you give me a sign? What more is in store for tonight's investigation? So Paul's now going to go upstairs and investigate more of the building. And I'm going to head into the cellar because there's some weird stuff going on, isn't there? And I heard the alarm going off there.
Yeah.
Didn't see anything moving in the in the dust. So great to see if it has maybe some orbs or something came past to set the alarm off. I can't wait to view that.
Yeah.
And you heard a growl downstairs?
Something just growled at me.
Something growled at you?
Yeah. I mean, there's a few noises. It's the quietest pub cellar I've ever been in.
Yeah.
But I've been down there for 15 minutes, and just on the last couple of minutes before I wrapped, in fact, I've just actually gone over, and it's just growled. Something just bloody growled at me. Not once, twice.
Well, that's weird. Well, I'm going to go down and check it out.
Yeah, good luck.
You check out upstairs, see if we can get some activity.
I'm going to check out the toilet first.
You check the toilet, and I'll go downstairs.
I need to change my pants.
Okay. Paul needs to change his pants. So while he does that, I'm going to get some gear ready and go downstairs. See you in a moment. Okay, so I've come downstairs now into the cellar, to investigate Paul's claim of growl, and also to see if anything will happen to me while I'm down here. Got a K2, and I've just set up. I've just got an itchy head for some reason. I've just set up a K2 meter, a REM pod, over on one of these beer barrels, over there. So if anything comes near that, it will set off, and hopefully we will get an indication of something here. It's actually pitch black down here, and the beauty of this place is it actually goes quite deep, and you've got to watch your head. So I've got a little torch just shining where I'm going. And you've got the drop down here, the beer drop, where the barrels will come in. I don't know where Paul said he heard the growl, but it was definitely down here. So I'm just going to wash my head, and I'm going to go over here. I'm going to call out and see if anything happens, or maybe we can get... Oh, Jesus! Whoa, that just touched my foot. Whoa, 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 look. That touched... Whoa! Where's that first? That's there. That's what I just heard. And then down there, something pinged like a beer barrel. I heard that as clear as day. Something really did ping. Let's see if I can see anything. Let me just go into here. Oh, that's a tight squeeze. Ow! I just bumped my head on there. Let's just not do that again. That's like a poo pipe or something. And here there's only these water tanks, and it's a bit squeezy. That happened then instantaneously. I don't know what it was, but something rolled over to me, and I'm just ducking. What was that? Let me just get the torch on it. It was some sort of apparatus for something. Okay, so this is the bedroom that we've been told there was a television in here, which was... Okay, that REM just went off, and I'm not close enough to set it off. The TV was over there, and early one morning the landlord and landlady heard the TV come on full blast, heard a male's voice, and thought that somebody was outside, delivery man or something. When they came out and realised that it was coming from this room, they came to try and enter the room to find out why it was on, turn it off and what have you. That door was locked. You can see there's a bolt on it, but it wasn't bolted. And actually, I said locked, it wasn't locked, it just wouldn't open. There's no lock on it apart from the bolt, so it would not open at all. So eventually they managed to force their way in. That REM keeps beeping. It's the second time and the third time. Is there somebody at the door? Can you try and come in? Touch that metal rod. That metal stick there. Okay, if that was you that did that, come towards me. I've got a meter in my hand. Let me just make sure I don't knock this camera off. Okay. I've got a meter in my hand, got a K2 meter. If you come close to it, the lights will light and change colour and go brighter. And I'll know that you're next to me. If that was you that threw something at me, perhaps do it again or growl at me. If you can growl, that you growled at Paul, Growl at me. Walk towards my device on this beer barrel and this keg. Set it off. It's a REM pod. If you break its field, it'll alarm. It'll give me a communicate. I don't know what that was, but I don't want to say that was a growl, but it sounded like it was. It feels eerie. It's really, really eerie. Can you growl for me? Make a growl noise. Show yourself. Don't be shy. Come forward. Show yourself to me. Where are you? Come on. If you were growling at Paul, you can growl at me. You can do it. If you can do it, do it. If you can't, wow. What's that? Sorry. Just get rid of this KT for one moment. Just spotted something over there and I don't know what it is. But investigate sensors have just spiked in to say go and check it out. Is it a hole? That's me. No, it's not a hole, it's just one of those. It's just a little... I just heard a female's voice. Can you do that again if that was you? One more time. No way. Hello? Is anybody up here? Did you make a noise? Was that your voice I just heard? That was a girl's voice. That was a female, that wasn't male. That's my K2. That was definitely female. Can you do it again? No way. Where's that coming from? It's like it was like, whoop. You? Are you there? No, we've got to be hearing this.
Can you show yourself to me? Can you move in front of what I'm holding in my hand? Maybe able to... Yes. Thank you. There's the light. I stopped mid-speech there just before that came on because just to my right, just where that torch is. Thank you. I thought I heard some movement. And I didn't turn the camera very quickly because for some reason I was just trying to... There's some green. Thank you. What's green? Can you try and light that up? Oh, do you know, I know what's green. I know what's green. Right now, I'm green. This is green. Story, yes. Do you have a story? I'm all ears. Please tell me. You've done some brilliant stuff so far. I really appreciate that. Can you do a little bit more? So I'm wondering if whoever it is looking at the screen and realising that everything's green, because we're in night vision, aren't we? Could you turn that light on again? And the REM just went again. Could you turn that light on for me again? That was really good what you just did a second ago. Just before it came on, I heard something just over here.
Thank you. Can you do something else? Can you show yourself for me on my camera? I'll turn it to... Whoa! What was that? That was one of these in here. That was one of these barrels in here. It went ping. There's 4 barrels here, let me show you. It's 4 barrels. Okay. I just kicked that one. There we go. I was just trying to drop any equipment. Let me just adjust my equipment. There's 4 barrels and one of them tinged. These kegs, one of them went ping. Whoa, and that voice again. Tell you what, Paul wasn't wrong. These weird voices down here. These weird voices.
You're doing, there we go. Thank you ever so much again. Right, there's an assault going on here. Can't keep up. We've got Reverend. We've got the Rem. We've got the torch. Can you set that off again for me, please? Oh, thank you so much. That's really good. Turn it off now, please. Thank you. Turn it off. Thank you. Let's see. Can you turn it on again now, please? Okay. Sometimes they don't always want to do what you want them to do at the time you want them to do it. Hide. Why are you hiding? Whoa. There we go. Thank you. That's fantastic. Really good. Thank you so much. And again. Okay, hide. Twice it said hide. Who needs to hide? Is this you, Betty?
Well, wow. What can I say? Really good down here. Stuff seems to be happening, which is great. This place, it's really good. I think because it's never been investigated before, it's like, get out of here. You shouldn't be here, especially with it being closed today. Maybe Betty's here, or some of the family members are here, and they want to make themselves, known they're here. But the noises I was hearing before have stopped. So the chattering, the whistling, and the objects have, hopefully we've got some on camera being moved and thrown. Did you hear that then? How is it growling? Came from down here. That's weird. I'm gonna get myself back up. Sounds freaking weird. Paul, Owd Betts.
Great.
It was a fantastic investigation.
Yeah.
One that has never been done before.
No.
And I think tonight we stirred the spirits up and they interacted on our investigation. For me personally, in the bar area, it was all differently weird. There was noises coming from various places and the activity, the periscope was going off.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was making noises. There was noises coming from behind the bar. It was generally a really good investigation.
It's a really nice place, and I do believe Betty is still here. Up in the bedroom, asking for interaction. I did the torch experiment.
Oh yeah.
Had the REM going off and the ovilus, and there were things coming through. I think where I wasn't welcome.
Right.
Wasn't nasty, but I think she was rather insistent that I leave. I pushed it a little bit, and she was getting a little bit more insistent.
Yeah.
Came up with the word deplete just after I said I'm feeling a bit, So yeah, I think she's here. Cellar's a different matter though.
Yeah, well for me, you went down to the cellar first and you experienced a growl, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I don't think that was Betty.
Well, I don't know if that was Betty. I experienced something similar. I had a couple of growls. I think they were growls.
Yeah.
and then objects, lids, bottle lids, were being thrown at me
Yeah, I think one got thrown as well while I was down there.
while
as
you were
well.
down there.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, and I don't know if I caught it on camera, but there was definitely that happening. And then the sound of what sounded like children.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I thought I heard a giggle at one
Did you?
point down there. I thought I heard a giggle and a man, where the plastic sheets are as you just actually
Right.
step in, I thought I heard a man say something. So, yeah, it's a real weird place, the cellar.
It's proper freaky down there. And just as we're talking, which we won't pick that up because we were mic'd up,
Yeah,
it sounded like chinks at the bar.
yeah.
So this, I think we've definitely proved that, as the legends say for this place and the claims that the owners have, this place is haunted.
I think so. I think it is Betty. But I think there's also somebody else or something else here.
Something else. It doesn't feel nasty.
No, perhaps a little territorial.
Yeah,
You know.
and saying this is my place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's weird how it tends to be cellars where they kind of hide out.
Yeah. Well, maybe they know.
Mm,
It's a good place to hide. Less people down there.
true.
Well, overall, a fantastic
Loved it.
evening and investigation.
Loved it. It's a very unassuming sort of place. I don't think you'd realise, unless you've looked at what the history is, about the character of it, how far back it goes, and
Yeah.
the lady that obviously loved it to the day she died. She's still here.
She's still here.
Yeah.
Well, it was great. What more can we say? It was great.
I don't want to go.
Well, we have to. And on that note, from all of us at Ghost Dimension Flying Solo, thank you for watching and good night.